Dale Watson is taking on a 23-kilometre stroll every week for 4 weeks in aid of Brain Tumour Ireland, all in memory of his friend, the Ennis native and former local soccer player Dylan White. Dylan sadly passed away last year at the age of just 23. Now, it's a challenge that not only pushes physical limits but also carries deep personal meaning, highlighting the impact Dylan had on those around him and the vital work being done to support individuals and families affected by brain tumours across Ireland. Dale began his challenge, which lasts until the 18th of April, last Saturday, and I spoke about it and Dylan with Dale in studio beforehand. Dale, thanks for coming in.
No problem at all. And how's yourself?
I'm good. I was just positing there whether you're a fit guy. I mean, I suppose you break down 23 kilometres over a week. It's very achievable, but you know you're going to be running it. So
yeah,
you look fit enough to me, though. You're a young guy. You should be grand.
Yeah, it's definitely it's going to be a tough one. But yeah, the plan is to kind of break it up for the first 3 weeks, and then the last week then run it all in one go. So I mean, as well as doing it for Dylan, I've never ran 23 kilometres, so I'm kind of training for a half marathon as well, which is fun. But yeah, I'm excited to kind of get running now, so it'll be good.
Okay, look, you're doing this as well as preparing for a half marathon. This is for a very, very good cause.
Yes.
I mentioned your friend Dylan White. Tell us a bit about Dylan. He was from Clare and sadly, as I say, passed away at just 23 last year.
Yeah, it's very unfortunate. Dylan, lovely guy, like one of a kind, one of my best friends from since we were kids. Yeah, he got diagnosed, I suppose, with brain cancer. I think it was roughly about maybe 2 years ago, 3 years ago. And yeah, sadly kind of took over him kind of the last, I suppose, year of his life. But we were there with him until the end, so it was bittersweet, and what happened. But yeah, I suppose I just wanted to do this to kind of help friends and family that kind of went through what we went through. I think it's important to do it. We've had friends kind of our friend group pass away before in the past, and we never kind of went about it, kind of went doing something for them. So to have the chance to do it now is really great, and to do something, I suppose, fitness wise as well is another plus. Like so,
and the fact that you're doing 23 kilometres is a very specific number, but I think I've given a hint as to why you chose that exact distance.
Yeah, Dylan was 23 when he passed away, but we had other ideas. We were thinking of running up, so the distance to Beaumont Hospital and back, I think it's roughly maybe around 400, 500 kilometres, something like that. So we were thinking about doing that in a few weeks, or else it was going to be 16 kilometres a week, which would represent his birthday. It was 16th of September. But I think 23 was a challenge, and it was achievable. So we just said it's probably the best number to go with. Originally it was actually meant to be about 10 of us doing the run. But there's a lot of guys that are living all over Ireland. There's guys that are living abroad. So it was a very hard thing to organise and to manage. So there is people that are doing it, but not, I suppose, to the extensive time that I'm doing it for. Like, but
what you're basically saying is you're the fittest and best candidate to do this.
You could say that, yeah. You could say that.
What was Dylan like as a person? Like, as you say, Dale, you were friends since you were like nippers, like, basically.
Like, yeah, I think the first time I met him, we was at Ennis town training for underage. I just say I was about 7 or 8 or 9. But when I was younger, I had like really long hair, and at the time he had really long hair as well. So I don't know, maybe something clicked, and I was like,
over that.
Yeah. So yeah, his father was our trainer and stuff as well, and I think that's kind of the first time we met. But I mean, as a person, like, he was selfless. Like, as I said to you earlier, I was driving down this morning and I was trying to think of a bad thing to say about him, but there isn't. He's one of a kind. He's very athletic. He was always really good at soccer. He was good at hurling. He was a very thoughtful guy. Like, he'd never forget to invite you to an event or a party or to even a kickabout or a walk or going to a match. He was really careful as well. He always tried to take care of you. He always said he'd be there for you. He was just a good laugh as well, I suppose. Like, which is I suppose a tough part. And yeah, it's sad to think about it. But yeah, he was one of the nicest guys you could have ever met. But yeah.
And I get like that. It's no surprise that you're honouring him in this way. I mean, a terrible way for anyone to go, regardless of age. So it is great to see you're going to be raising money for Brain Tumour Ireland. Just how important is the work that they do in terms of supporting families affected by brain tumours, like Dylan's family?
Oh, it's huge. They do funding for research and development of possible solutions for battling the disease. They're organising charity runs over a dozen times a year to help the families. I think a massive thing as well is like they're an individual body. Like they're not a massive charity. Like they are small, but like they're directly targeting like this disease, and they're the only kind of one in Ireland that supports it directly. So yeah, supporting directly to the friends and families, I think is huge. And most of all, I think they're just giving hope against the odds. Which, I mean, as you said, like it's a devastating disease, and to have someone kind of give you a guideline or kind of step by step, or maybe what your options are outside of maybe what this told you on the surgical side or whatever. Like, but yeah, it's massive. They're huge, and to do work for them or do a charity run for them and raise some of the money that I know is going to help someone that was maybe in my position or even worse is huge. So yeah, no, they're a great charity, and they're lovely.
Well, look, they're no doubt delighted you're doing this, not just to honour Dylan, but to raise money to help them keep doing what they are doing. The 23 kilometres a week is, it's a significant undertaking, but it is also achievable, and you're a young lad in the prime of your life. So I'm wondering how little preparation you are doing in order to prepare for this.
I suppose in the new year I was kind of going with the whole kind of new year, new me kind of analogy. So I'm playing rugby for Ennis as well, and I was organising this run, and I started a personal training programme with Cian Nugent. And I was playing a match I think about mid-February, and I injured my shoulder, and I went and got it looked at, and I tore my labrum in my shoulder, which put me out of playing rugby, and I couldn't really give 100% effort to doing the personal training, but I was able to run. So I think I kind of caught legs for doing the running then. So I've been running, I think, the last, I'd say it's about 6 or 7 weeks, and doing about 20 kilometres a week for the last 6 or 7 weeks. I'm just back from Chicago as well from work, and it was minus 10 degrees over there, and I was out running over there as well. So I mean, physically, yeah, that's kind of the way I was going about it. I think mentally, just having Dylan in the back of my head has just been
driving you on.
Yeah, driving me on. Like, do you know what I mean? If I'm out on a 10 kilometre run or whatever, and I could be wrecked tired, I could have a heavy day at work or whatever, and it's an extra push in the back to kind of get you down the road. But yeah, I think that's most everything I've been doing physically and mentally anyway. Yeah.
Okay, well, not to tempt fate, it'll be no bother to you, Dale. Look, there's a number of different ways in which people can promote or highlight their fundraisers, be it GoFundMe, iDonate and so on. How have you gone about promoting your fundraiser for Brain Tumour Ireland, and where can people access it?
You can access it straight through Brain Tumour Ireland's page. So if you look up Brain Tumour Ireland and you click donate, it'll bring you to a separate page, and there'll be a search bar at the top, and just look up Dylan Remembered, and from there it'll bring you to my page, and you can just donate straight to there. If not, I put a post up on Instagram as well, and there's a link in my bio. I think my username is Dale J Watson, so you can go through there as well. But yeah, that's probably the best way to access it.
What would it mean to you personally, Dale, to complete this challenge in Dylan's memory, whilst knowing that you've raised vital funds for Brain Tumour Ireland?
Oh, the achievement of it is massive. It means the world to me. Even when I seen that how much money I'd raised overnight, I think it was like 600 or 700 euros. I mean, that was massive. But I mean, to do it for Dylan, it's just to do something for him even after he's gone, and have the opportunity to do it, and people be aware about it, and his family be aware about it, and our friends and stuff is massive. So yeah, it's I suppose when I was thinking about doing it, I was really on the verge of tears when I put up the post, because it was just to think about it, like. But yeah, it'll mean the world, and I can't wait to get started, and yeah, it'll be great. And we're actually finishing the run on the day of his anniversary, so it'll be finishing the run, and we get to, I suppose, go to church and have a few drinks maybe after, celebrate for him and stuff. So yeah, it'll be great.
Okay, a fitting, poignant finale to what's going to be a great undertaking to raise money for Brain Tumour Ireland and remember your great friend Dylan White. We wish you the very best with it, Dale.
Thanks,
and
Alan.
anyone listening, if you can help out, donate a few quid, it'd be very much appreciated. Dale Watson, thanks for popping into the studio.
Thanks, Alan. Cheers.